small members are finally calling upon the man from Kanungu who decided to run to court to get back the 9 million that he spent on the wife. The wife, they were not yet married after being dated like for some time. So apparently this week a court in Kanungu, you know, a lot of things relating to Kanungu, Chisoro, the bicycle and everything. It's just always funny. So a court in Kanungu finally came and made a verdict or a conclusion or like a judgment for the man who ran to court.
Yes.
Because the lady refused to marry him. They had entered in an agreement to marry after some time. So apparently Mr. Tumwine, Richard, went to court and told court that in 2015, as he was teaching in one of the schools in Kanungu, met a lady, a beautiful lady called Fortunate. So when they met each other in 2018, they entered an agreement to marry after some time. But the only problem to that marriage was the lady wanted to further her studies, but then there was no money. So they said, okay, let's enter into an agreement. We are going to marry in future, but you have to first pay for my school fees or tuition.
Yes.
The lady went ahead and read books in LDC. The lady graduated in LDC, keeping in mind that the other contract was still there, the agreement to marry. In 2022, in 2022, which was last year in January, so these people came together and said, okay, I think we need an introduction. The guy wanted to secure the future with the lady. So they said, okay, let's do an introduction in Feb 2022. So they came up with a list of items that would have been the marriage kind of arrangement in Feb.
Yes.
Feb came. The lady said, no. And I lawyer me to marry a teacher? No, it's impossible. I can't allow that. So the lady said, no, I'm not going to marry you. You're not my level. You know,
you're not my type.
Yes, you're not my type. A full lawyer. So the man, also I think maybe as the woman was studying law, you could also open some notebook somewhere of the lady and could also read some few things. Ran to court. And he ran to court, sued the lady for damages and also a lot of things. So he wanted the lady to compensate him for all the money that he has been paying for tuition for this Fortunate. So the court came up with a judgment saying, okay, the court had to look into the mobile money transaction that the guy was wiring to the lady and realized that this gentleman had paid over 9.4 million. 9 million in that during all that kind of thing, and Mr. Richard was patient enough to wait for this lady and marry. The angel of his eyes. So now court decided that, okay, since the guy had already incurred a lot of losses into this monetary and everything, let the lady pay back the gentleman 9 million and 1 million for damage.
Yeah.
So social media was awash with people judging what happened, what. But do you think, let me bring you into this conversation, do you think this was fair enough for the man to go to court for this?
Yes, I believe so. It was fair, and he was fortunate that he was able to recover. Unlike other men outside there who have been in such situation but haven't taken the initiative to go on that road. But for him, it turned out well for him. And I believe it was right, actually. Because if two couples had their mutual agreement of marriage and the determinant was financial education, so I believe the man was right. There was breach of contract. You know what the court is interested in is where the breach of contract come in. Many would argue that he was wrong because, when you're in a relationship, both sides make contributions, but this is not like a normal relationship where you're not expecting someone to finance your education. So the outcome of it was necessary for him to go to court. And I think he was bold enough, because there are other men outside there that are not bold to that extent, but he did go on the good words, in the good way. And to top on that, there are several other ladies that are going through that. Not only ladies, because people tend to think that only ladies are paid for tuition, but there are also other women outside there paying for their spouses, their boyfriends, actually. Education, maybe sponsoring their businesses. It doesn't have to be only education. You may find that there are women outside there. Men have sponsored their businesses, but at the end of it all, they don't marry you, yet they maintain the business, right? So it all goes back to your agreement and how you factor the outcome of your relationship. If you are doing it out of self-will and love and not attaching financial gains in it, well and good. So for these couples, I think their relationship was based on monetary value. Though most people would argue that it isn't, but I do believe it was, because otherwise they wouldn't go to court if it wasn't monetary value involved in it. I believe if you in your situation, if you've managed to sponsor a lady education, and even though you don't maybe marry her, if the agreement wasn't that you should marry her, then you wouldn't rush to court, right?
Of course not.
Exactly. So I believe at the end of it all, it was a monetary agreement.
Someone gained out of this.
Yes, someone has gained. I believe the lady gained because the time the man was in her life, he played a lot of responsibilities that he wasn't supposed to do at that stage in time. He was actually filling in the roles parents play. So you shouldn't blame him for being a parent to someone he wasn't supposed to at that stage in time. It was too early for him to be the husband. He could maybe have maintained his role as a boyfriend, but at the brighter side, we should also look at it in a way that I think he had a good heart, because there are few people who can do that for you. So people who are judging him, please do also think, what have you done to the women in your lives that you can judge this guy so much? So you can take it on from there.
You're still watching the Insights, of production of the Campus magazine. So earlier on, we posted this on our social media handles, and we are going to look through some of your feedbacks. I'm seeing, yes, someone in Twitter here. This one is called Emma Owindolo Council. This is from Gulu. He's saying that was a long-term loan. That was a long-term loan. Actually, it was a long-term loan. Then I'm seeing another one coming up here from someone called Bob. Bob is from Makerere University. He's saying no. A smile should welcome a brother back to the family. I see a lot of comments. Keep the comments coming on our social media.
Wow.
That's the Campus magazine on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere. I still remain Menyata. We sign out, but the conversation is going to continue on social media. Keep them coming. And
yes, thank you for the lovely conversation. Until next time, to the guys, please do the right thing. Bye.
Bye.